right, and just when you thought it was over, it's time to make the picks for week one. How do we not do that? Electric Football brings you the begrudgingly angry Steve Brown and the delightfully drunk Stuart Pace.
Yeah, I do a pretty good old man face, don't I?
Hey, we're like the two guys in the Muppets.
Okay,
damn it! Get off my lawn.
There you go. Speaking of get off my lawn, Seattle is going to tell the Packers on Thursday night, get off my lawn. That crowd is going to be out of their minds. I know there's supposed to be the Super Bowl hangover, but until you stop being drunk, you don't have a hangover. There's a little secret for you, kids. That's how I've lasted the last 20 years. And I expect Seattle to come out with the roar of the 12th man, with a vicious defense that didn't suffer many losses, and I expect them to put it on the Pack. If they don't, you will definitely elevate the Pack in the playoff and Super Bowl predictions. But I think Seattle wins this one going away.
Tough to win in the Super Bowl champs' home, especially that place, which is nuts to begin with. They're going to be celebrating still from being in New Jersey, because everyone wants to celebrate being in New Jersey. I think Seattle kind of crushes the Pack here.
All right, Bills at Bears, and I don't think there's any reason to move away from the home teams in this one.
Nope, I agree.
The Bills have struggled mightily on offense in the preseason. There's a question about Sammy Watkins' ribs. Will he be able to play? He is, he and C.J. Spiller are their only real, threats on offense. They lost Kiko Alonso on defense. Bears are coming into this, in very solid shape and with experience on both sides of the ball.
And a much better roster.
Yeah.
That's basically it. And they're home.
Talent wins out. We both picked the Bears.
There you go.
Browns at Steelers. God, I hate this division. You start with this
one. Initially I was jumping all over the Steelers because I don't love the Browns, but you know what? They're kind of an even match here. The Browns defense is pretty good. You mentioned earlier in the previews that the Steelers defense is
the oldest.
The oldest. So you know what? On a lark, there's got to be an upset every time. I'm going to take the Brownies here.
I'll go with the Browns. A, they're my namesake, my last name.
That's right.
And B, I am pulling for Hoyer, the Cleveland kid, to actually hold off Johnny Manziel. So I hope he has a good first game. I'll go Browns.
And the Steelers start out sluggishly usually anyway. So
I think they're going to be sluggish all year based on their age and their injuries. That's my expectation.
Okay.
Jags at Eagles. Stu?
This one should be pretty much over at the end of the first quarter. I can't imagine the Jaguars keeping up with Philadelphia. Opening day in Philly. There's just too much down on this Eagles team to falter. The Jags, like I said in the previews, their defense is improving, but who are you going to key on? I think the Eagles in a kind of a rout.
Yeah, Eagles in a rout would be my expectation on this one. Pats at Finns. I'm going to go ahead and start and say that Stewart's heart is broken and the Finns start 0-1 just based on Tom Brady's ability to pick them apart. Stu?
I can't disagree. I'd love to take Miami right now, but I didn't get a sense that we could score a touchdown in the preseason yet. The offensive coordinator said, we didn't show you our offense yet because we're saving it for Brady. But you know what? We don't often beat the Patriots, and until we do consistently, I have to go New England.
We're so afraid of the Patriots that we're going to hide our offense and not practice it in the offseason.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was.
So what Stewart has written next is Saints versus Fallons. So evidently the Saints are playing against Jimmy Fallon.
The worst late-night show host ever.
Oh, wow. You don't like this his little dance bits with Justin Timberlake?
He's so bad.
Wow.
How do you watch him?
And who's the best ever, Stu?
Best ever? Johnny Carson. No doubt about it. Come on.
I'm a David Letterman guy, but I'm a little younger than
Yeah, but Carson let his guests talk. Go ahead.
Saints at Falcons.
See, that was Carson.
I am thank you. I am your Ed McMahon.
You are correct, sir.
Saints at Falcons. I don't even remember what I said in our preview. I am going to take the Saints in this game based purely on my love of that little Drew Brees.
All right, I'm going to go with the Falcons here. I'm expecting a lot from this team. I think this is the last year that Mike Smith and Matt Ryan are together on this team, and they've got to prove something here. They've got some really good weapons on this team, and they're home opener.
All right. Panthers at Bucks. As discussed in our previews, which I'm sure you've all watched before watching this.
Copious notes.
I am a huge Lovie Smith fan. I think the Bucks have an amazing amount of talent on defense, and I think they will smother the Panthers in this game. I think the Panthers have to hope that they come out of this game healthy, and that's about all.
I think the Panthers have nothing going for them this year, and although I don't love the Buccaneers, they're certainly a better team.
Horse fight. Colts at the Broncos. That's a great opening game. I
It
mean,
really is.
you've got the whole Luck, Peyton Manning,
It's the Derby.
history, who replaced who's the better quarterback going into the future. I'm taking the Broncos in this. I think the Broncos are such a powerful offensive team, and I think they will have a healthy defense to start the season.
Mhm.
I believe they will put pressure on Luck, and I do believe that the Broncos will run away with this one.
Hard to win in Denver. There's no breathing up there, and they're right now they're the best team in the AFC. And until someone tells me otherwise by beating them a couple times, there's no way the Colts go in there and win on opening day.
Bengals at Ravens.
Interesting game.
As was shown, we kind of hate this division. It's become really a boring division as
Mhm.
far as I'm concerned. I said that Andy Dalton was the best regular season quarterback in this division for the coming year. Not that he has been in the past, but that he will be the best regular season quarterback, and I'm going to stick with that. I think the Bengals have enough to put more points on the board than the Ravens, and the last time I checked, that's how you win football games.
I agree. I think the Bengals overall have the better roster up and down. Their defense, a lot of people are real high on them. They're good. I don't think they're championship level defense, but if that offense can put the things together that they need to put together with that talent, they should win this handily. But it is a home game for Baltimore, and it's a divisional game. I think the Bengals squeak one by here.
Okay, Washington against the Texans.
Really? Are you going to do this? Or you're never going to say anything?
I'm going to try not to.
Okay.
I mean, the indigenous people, Native Americans.
Redskins?
I think Dan Snyder's a fool for holding on to what's potentially a racist name. I don't think plenty of other teams have changed their names with no huge, fall off in the fan base.
How
I
come
mean,
nobody's complaining about the tomahawk chop in Atlanta and Florida?
the Washington Bullets people have actually.
I haven't heard a stitch about it.
Anyway,
But that's not why we're here.
Stu's the conservative. I'm the liberal on this show. He's Sean Hannity, and I'm that other guy that used to get gobsmacked by Sean Hannity.
Jimmy Fallon?
Anyway, this is a fascinating matchup because they're really.
The Cowboys versus the Indians.
Oh goodness. In my mind, they're really just about equal. RG3 gives the Washington team an advantage. The Texans' lack of quarterback hurts them, but I think the Texans' defense is much better. I'm going to go with a little bit of an upset here. I'm taking the Texans.
I think the Redskins are going into Texas and they're going to lose.
Okay.
No, their defense, I think Clowney and Watt are going to be all over. I think the Texans have enough talent to win this game.
There we go.
Until I see how RG3 has recovered and how he plays, I'll take the Texans here.
Titans at the Chiefs, and nobody's complaining about the Chiefs' name. Well, I think as we discussed in the previews, the Titans are a complete bunch of average players. I think the Chiefs are a much better team. I think the Chiefs have a much better coach. I think Jamal Charles is going to do much better than Stu thinks. I'm taking the Chiefs.
I take the Chiefs here too. I just think home game. They've got to come out hard and fast because they're going to be playing catch up with Denver all year, and they have a playoff caliber team. It's just whether they can perform that way all year. And I haven't seen them be consistent enough to be convinced that they're going to make the playoffs, but they should beat the Titans. They'd even beat the Redskins, I think, if they played them.
Vikings at Rams. Well, I felt bad that Sam Bradford went down, but I don't feel that bad about it right now because I need the Vikes to come out strong if we're going to have any hope at all of a wild card because we ain't winning the division. So Adrian Peterson runs crazy on them. Matt Castle has to make, let's hope 15 passes and connects on about 10 of them. Vikings take this game.
Yeah, I think the Vikings offense is more than the Rams' new improved defense can handle. And I just think the Rams are kind of in flux with this quarterback situation. So I'm pretty much taking anybody against the Rams this year.
Okay, there you go. Use that for your knockout pool week 1. If you're not going to use that one, here's one you're going to want to use. Raiders at Jets. Okay, Raiders starting a rookie quarterback. Raiders flying all the way over to the East Coast and playing in an early game. The matchup is so clear, and the Jets desperate for a quick start. They need this one because their schedule is really tough. Geno Smith desperate for a quick start to hold off Michael Vick. Jets easy. Raiders below this year.
Yeah, yeah. I got nothing to add.
Okay. 49ers at Cowboys. Why don't you go with this one then?
You know what? I don't think the Cowboys will lose here. I don't know. They seem to come out of the first game, and they're home this time, and they seem to play pretty well. The 49ers are kind of on a downswing. They've had some issues. I'm just going to take the Cowboys here. I'm not sold on them for the season, but I think in game one, home game, they're just a little bit more pumped up, and they win this one.
Jerry Jones, keep your stinking mitts off of my wife and off of Adrian Peterson too.
Your skeleton, bony, ugly old Burnsian hands.
Burnsian. Excellent.
Excellent.
I am going to take the 49ers, a much more talented team on offense going against a weak Cowboys defense and a still solid defense going against an erratic Tony Romo. Give me the 49ers on the road. Giants at Lions. Isn't that the Monday night game? There's two Monday night games.
Yeah, it's the 7 o'clock game.
That explains it, folks. Stu?
I'm going to take the home team Detroit Lions here. Although I'm high on the Giants this year, I think Eli can turn it around. It's a tough place to go in and win in week one against what should be a pretty potent offense. If Stafford is not making a lot of mistakes and Reggie Bush starts running, I just don't think they have the horses to keep up with the Lions offense. I don't think the Lions have a lot to do in stopping the Giants either, but I think the Lions outscore them.
I am so high on the Detroit Lions winning this game that I'm thinking about buying one of those $1 houses they have for sale in Detroit.
It's a great investment.
I honestly think that I think the Giants are every year I think the Giants are going to suck. Every year they prove me wrong. But this year, Lucy's holding the football, and I'm kicking it right through the goal. I think the Giants are going to be terrible. I think their offensive line and I think their offense is not meshing under the new coordinator. And I think Eli is going to have another turnover-prone season, and we're going to start that whole debate of, is he a Hall of Fame quarterback after the last couple of seasons he's had? Give me the Lions in this one. Chargers, Cardinals, take it away, Stu.
I like the Cardinals here. I really think they're a vastly improved team. Palmer, like we said in the previews, or at least I said it,
Yeah.
all he has to do is manage the game. Ellington is a good enough back to run for 1,000 yards this year. He's certainly got enough talent around him. Their defense is very good, and they should have been in the playoffs last year. They were 10-6, and they didn't get in because of whatever tiebreakers go on. They were the fourth best team in the NFC and didn't get in. I think the Cardinals kind of in a laugher here.
I would not stake my long-term future on Carson Palmer, but I do think that they're good enough this year at home and with a stifling defense to hold down San Diego and put enough points. I'm not thrilled about either of these Monday night games. I'm not like, oh my goodness. Thursday night game, yes.
Yeah, watch it.
Monday night games, not so much. But I do think that the Cardinals have enough to take the Chargers in this one. So
there you have it.
That has been Electric Football's preview of Week 1. We really appreciate all our 5 fans.
That's true.
And we want you to.
We want you to email us at electricfootballshow@gmail.com. We used to edit it in there. We don't. We're lazy.
We are lazy.
But you can also comment right below the video. Put your comments. We're answering. We're jabbing with you. We like to talk.
Okay. I'm Steve Brown.
I'm Stu Pace. See you next week.